everybody! What's up? Hang on, I gotta turn on some music. That's the only thing I forgot to do today. And unfortunately, knowing YouTube, I actually have to look up royalty-free music lest I get another copyright claim, because having people make money off of my videos is really annoying. Alright, can we get like a 24-hour stream or something? No? Okay, YouTube, have it your way. Does the music want to start? Does it? I don't know. Music hasn't started. It's certainly playing. What's wrong with this thing? I know I'm not crazy. Hang on. Nope, it's not playing. What? They don't know how to feel. Well, hopefully you won't feel too bored. I think that was what you were talking about yesterday, is that you were feeling pretty bored. That was pretty boring. Alright. I don't want it to overpower my voice, so we're going to turn it way down. Alright, so you guys should finally be able to hear some music. Also, macarons. Yes! Macarons. I have not made macarons since I was in culinary school. So, this is not my recipe. That's why I printed it out. Here it is. Trying to get it. Trying to get it into the picture there. Yeah. I just want everyone to know that this recipe actually isn't mine. We're going back to the recipe Bible, is my recipe. Now, I'm using a version of my coffee chocolate cake for this. I'm seeing drop frames. Yeah, this is, in the recipe Bible. I've listened to Rapping for Jesus. Oh, good Lord. This is my, recipe Bible. I'm using an offshoot of my chocolate cake. This is actually a much smaller serving than my usual cake, because my usual cake is actually kind of big. But this, I just want enough to be for, like, minimum 2 layers. Okay, so the first thing we need to do for this is we need oil and sugar. Which, of course, the sugar I forgot to get from the cabinet. So if you guys give me just 1 second. I was kind of hoping to start on, like, I need to hire you for my 19th birthday. I mean, depending on where you live, yeah. I know, I'm kind of worried, to be honest, that all of my cakes are going to start to look the same. Because the last couple of cakes I've done have all been chocolate cakes with ganache on the top. Alright, that's 1 cup of sugar. There's a little bit of hard kernels in there. Just take that out. We don't want that. We don't want stuff like this in our cake. Like, we don't want hard crystals like that. I had to evacuate. Oh, I'm sorry, JS. Well, I hope you're safe. I hope you and your family are safe. That's what's important. Yeah, my stream kind of pales in comparison to making sure you and your family are safe. I'm going to get another bag of sugar. This has too many hard pieces in it. I'm too short for this. Ugh. Let's see. I'm glad. Hard crystals of what? No! Sugar! when you leave sugar sitting around after a while, it does start to sort of crystallize and stick together. And no, it does not have to be wet for that to happen. And all we need is 1 more cup of sugar. There we go. The chocolate cake is an extremely forgiving recipe. Oh, whoops. Okay. There we go. All right, now we need a ½ cup of oil. We're going to bring out one of these babies. Guess who? Hey, Mia! I've been sitting in my basement all morning. I'm just glad you guys are okay. Alright. That's a ½ cup of oil. Now I'm going to set this off to the side because I'm going to have to wash it. One of the things we're going to need is some vanilla. Now, if you guys have seen this stream before, 206 hours of Sims 4, wow. Yeah, if you guys have seen this stream before, I don't measure vanilla extract. Because who has time for that? And of course, our friend the Broken Whisk is back. See, this thing is suffering. Like, it's, aw, hey Radiature, thank you for the birthday wishes. But yeah, this thing is suffering so badly. This poor little child. I'm seeing some buffering happening. So, I'm going to switch my output. Hang on. Alright, that should be a little bit better now. What happened to that poor whisk? I don't know. I don't know. Like, one day I picked it up and it just decided that it gave up on life. Like... But we have to make sure that our fat and our sugar are well combined. And I've already explained a lot of times why this is important, but I'm going to explain it again. It's important that your oil and your sugar are well combined because they don't mix well together, kind of like oil and water. So that's why when I made, for instance, when I made pâte à choux, that's why I had to make sure the oil and water were combined so we could actually make a good cake batter, which is really, in scientific terms, an emulsion. And everybody knows that emulsions can break, so can cake batter. There's another hard crystal. Yeah, that's not coming apart. So you just have to make sure they're well combined, well incorporated, they get introduced to each other. And that's everything. Okay, I'm gonna go shake off Broken Whisk. Then we're gonna put Broken Whisk back in the jar. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to do a couple of things off screen, which one of those things is making a cup of coffee. Wow, I wish this song would already stop. Okay, if you guys haven't noticed, this giant bag of flour over here is going to be my next victim. Alright. So we're going to tear off a piece of parchment paper, and we're going to do this on parchment paper instead of directly into the bowl. Bus ride to college is... Aw, I'm sorry. Yeah. Get rid of that cord in my way. Alright, so do you guys want to see our old friend, the Sifter? He's definitely an old friend. He is a really old friend. Look at this thing. It's very, very old. I think this thing is older than me. I believe my parents got it in England. Dad, you got the Sifter from England, right? Yeah, he doesn't even remember. It's that old.
I used to use it to make red velvet cake before we bought it.
Did you say before David was born?
No, I said, actually, we used to make red velvet cake and that's not what we know.
Huh. Well, now she's the one who's fiercely protective over it. I'm gonna stream after this ends. Maybe, I don't know. Crazy bones. What? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Mom. Alright, so our next order of business is I wish I knew what my next order of business is, because this this book does not tell me. Hang on. This book doesn't tell me. I forgot to write down how much cocoa powder I need for this cake. I gotta switch to another page. 3/4 cup. So, I need a little 4th cup over here. Say hello to little Fourthy. Fourthy. Alright, I gotta be careful with cocoa powder. Cocoa powder is pretty dangerous to mess with. Because when it gets everywhere, it's everywhere. Like, it's never not everywhere. Just put a load of cocoa powder. I wish that was possible, JS. I wish it was possible, trust me. I will tell you, Blitz, it takes a lot of practice. It took so much practice for me, as a matter of fact, that I couldn't quite do this even in culinary school. It took me, like, hours of practicing on my own in order to pull some of this stuff off. Alright, that is 3/4 cup of cocoa powder, and it's immediately going away. I'm not using cocoa powder for the macarons, unfortunately. I'm not making chocolate macarons today. They are going to have chocolate filling, though, so that's a plus. And if you guys are wondering, this apron is one of my old chef aprons. Okay. So, actually, we can use this because we still need 1 3/4 cup of flour. So, I'm just going to use this. I'm not really worried about whatever cocoa powder gets in it. So 1, 2, 3. And then, where's my big cup? Oh, yeah, it's sick. Actually, no, it's right here. I swear, I'm totally a functional adult. Totally. Alright, there we go. I can go back in there. And the giant bag of flour is going away now. See, some of this stuff is stuff I try to do. The music fits so well with the stream. Does it? Alright. Then we have some other dry ingredients, which is our baking powder and our baking soda. Baking powder and baking soda are very important because they are what we call chemical leavening agents. Since a cake doesn't rise on its own with steam or anything else, it rises mostly because of the reaction between the cocoa powder and the baking soda and the cocoa powder and the baking powder. The baking powder has extra acid in it, so the catalyst between them both creates air bubbles, which makes the cake rise. That's why some people add baking soda and vinegar to their cakes. But I only do that for red velvet cake. That's what I meant to say. What else? What am I? What? Okay, we've got two teaspoons of baking soda. And then we've got one teaspoon of baking powder. And a half teaspoon of baking powder. Alright, those can go away now. And then we have one more thing. Which would be nice if I could find it. That awkward moment where Kate can't find her salt. It's my job to be salty. Why can't I find my salt? Words. Yeah, I know. I don't know how to do words. I lost that ability ages ago. I stopped acting and all my public speaking skills went out the window. Alright. And no, that does not go in there. Okay, I know I keep explaining this, but the importance between kosher salt and iodized... Whoa. Okay, there we go. Sorry. My camera had a moment with itself. The difference between kosher salt and iodized salt. Iodized salt is finer, and I would recommend it more for baking. I would use iodized salt for baking more, but the thing about kosher salt is if you find that your food tastes slightly like metal, you need to switch to kosher salt. Now, if you can't tell, then I guess that's fine. But if you can, switch to kosher salt. And plus, kosher salt is much, much, much cheaper. But all of that goes in together like this. There you go. And that filters out all the hard bits. I don't know if you guys can see that. But, yeah, there's a little bit of hard bits in here. There you go. Yeah, all that stuff does not belong in our cake, so... Alright, so we've got our dry ingredients, and we've got our butter and our oil and our vanilla. Now what we need are our eggs, which I only need 2 this time. Just 2. And lastly, we need a cup of milk. Try using cold milk in this instance. My question is, why do you know what metal tastes like? Because I've been to the dentist before. How about that? There you go. Cup of milk. Alright, now there's one thing I need, and those are my mixer attachments. Now, if you guys, like I said, have watched the stream before, you know that I am not the biggest fan of my little hand mixer here, but he tries his hardest, and because of that, we appreciate his efforts, even though we don't necessarily get along. Okay, so the eggs need to be added one at a time just to make sure that they both get mixed in pretty well. Eggs are what we call the emulsifying agents in this case. In other words, eggs hold everything together. That's why right now all my windows are closed, so I can make sure that these eggs behave accordingly. Because of the humidity, I actually didn't want to... Oh, nope. There we go. That's a much wiser decision. Where's my other egg? Come here. One more. Professional egg cracking. This Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th dentist. This is actually... Oh, the first video stream you've seen. Really, Blitz? I thought you saw my other one. Alright, and this, my friends, is our emulsion. Which is why we have to be super careful when we start adding in our dry ingredients. It's very important not to overmix. Because, oh yes, I'm about to use the magic word, gluten. Because of the gluten, if we overmix, the gluten will develop. And it will make the cake chewy like bread. And we don't want that. And then we alternate that with a serving of milk. And yeah, that's the reason I do this on a piece of parchment paper, because the parchment paper just makes it easier. See, I don't like the dentist. I actually went to the dentist yesterday. Well, you guys all know that story. I went to the dentist yesterday. It was about as harrowing as you might think. They kept trying to give me like extra x-rays and like, oh yeah, you only have to pay like $300 for them. I was like, first of all, no. And I was like, I only want the x-rays you said I needed. Well, this one lets us get, this is like kind of like a, it's similar to an MRI. No. already starting to get tired. I'm such a wimp. I can't really... I've always had like a fear of the dentist because I had a lot of dental work, kind of like as a kid and a teenager. So while I know that my dentist is a perfectly nice person, I just know that usually when I go to the dentist, even if I floss and do everything I'm supposed to, it mostly amounts to genetics. It mostly amounts to genetics. Why I have such an issue with my teeth. So no matter what I do, there might be something that goes wrong. You know what I mean? All right. That's the last of our milk. And then we've got one more ingredient that we can add. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna do a lot of training for season 6. I'm gonna train up my May so I can counter Doomfist. I'm gonna work on my attack Symmetra, and I'm gonna work on my Diva. Here's my problem with playing Diva, is that I tend to get really aggressive, which tends to make my healers really, really mad. Because I kind of forget that they're there, and I'm kind of focused on getting to the point. And I make it, I'm not gonna lie, I make it kind of difficult on them, and I feel kind of bad. But as far as healers go, I'm gonna try and get back into Mercy. Just Mercy is a lot of responsibility. Okay, so this cup still has a little bit of the milk from earlier, but I'm gonna go ahead and pour the coffee in anyway. Yeah, that's good. I'll take mine with 2 sugars, please. You gotta make sure the coffee is pretty hot. Otherwise, it won't be easy to incorporate it. Which will lead to overmixing. Alright, there we go. And yep, the batter is supposed to be very thin. Gotta scrape the bottom, make sure that's okay. Yep, everything seems good. Now this, since it's one of my lifelines, I gotta put it in the sink, so give me just a sec. Alrighty. Boom. Alright. You wanna lick the beers? There you go. That's for you. go in the sink. And the hand mixer can go away now. Everybody say bye. Okay. So now you see this, now you see what I'm saying, how this is covered in cocoa powder now. But fear not, I already have a wet cloth on hand to take care of it. There we go. Simpsons for pets? Have you ever put some... I've never seen someone put coffee in some cake. The chat would be fast. Bye? Where are you going, JS? Oh, you're saying bye to move the mixer, because that's what I said to do. I was really confused for a minute. I'm sorry. Okay, so now what we do is we prepare our cake pans. And today I actually have a super quick way to do it. Yep, I'm using Pam. Alright. So the first thing we gotta do is get more parchment paper. If you guys remember my first baking stream, which I deleted, you guys would know that is very, very important to, and I'm using a sparkly food safe pen because this is made of vinegar oil and it is food safe. Sparkly, but food safe. It's made from the same stuff that luster dust for cakes is made out of. Okay. That's one circle. It didn't really write well. That's the one thing about these pens, but they don't write well on parchment paper. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this. If it'll let me. Good lord. There we go. Come on. There you go. Pull. Come on. There we go. Hey, Gizmo. Can't be here for long. Okay, but it's nice that you're here. I am fighting with this piece of paper, mostly because I can't see the circle I made. So I think I'm going to redraw it. I think I got it, though. Hang on. Okay, they're gonna be a little uneven, but I don't care. Alright. After we spread inside, I'm going to bring out my second giant bag of flour. But I'm not going to pour a lot in. I'm just going to pour like a good handful, just like that, into my pan. And yes, it is important that you flour the bottom even when you're using a piece of parchment paper, because there's always the chance that a piece of batter can stick. I have a private band lesson soon. Ooh. Well, I wish you, well, no, I can't say I wish you luck because that's bad luck. I say brick a leg. Yeah, I still remember all the old theater superstitions. Alright, dump that back in there. I'm a little worried about these sides. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to respray the inside here. Just right there. And put the flour back in. Dang! I really didn't do a good job of covering these insides here. Alright, there we go. That's much better. So, if I did the same thing with that, I'll probably need to do the same thing with this, so... There we go. I got some on my hands there. There's a rule of cooking, you can always wash your hands. Okay, I need a little bit more flour. Yeah, just roll the flour all the way on the inside of your pan. Just enough to coat the inside of your pan. Alright. Lay your discs gently inside. Since some of them already have a little bit of flour on them, I'm still going to spray it a bit more though, just to make me feel better. I don't want them getting stuck again, and I don't want the parchment paper peeling anything off, so... Alright. Now, the important thing to remember about this cake in particular is that it rises a lot. So when you fill in your... There we go. Hang on. Let me scrape this. You know what? I'll put this in the old coffee cup just to make it a little bit easier so it doesn't get any batter on all the extra stuff in there. I've gotten good enough at this recipe where I can just eyeball it, but if you would like to do this recipe yourself, I would suggest weighing it. Scrape the rest into here. There we go. Alright. You got a little bit on the side there, but don't worry about that. Yeah, they're about the same. Cool. Alright. So these go in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. If somebody can translate that to Celsius, that'd be awesome. Don't put them too close to the heat source, If you have a bottom rack, maybe put it up one more. He could flute. He grilled pizza. How do you get frying cake mix? Oh my. Actually, here's the funny part. You do grill pizza. That's probably where you got the idea. You can grill pizza. It's a special Italian margarita pizza that you grill at like 500, that you grill at like, yeah, you grill at like 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And it takes maybe 90 minutes to cook it. It's super crispy on the bottom. So you can actually grill it, but it has to be a flat surface grill, and it has to be in like a huge brick oven. So technically, you can grill it, and you can emulate it in like a backyard grill. I just wouldn't recommend it. So that's probably where he got the idea from. Is he watched some Tony Bourdain and watched the chefs from Italy make a pizza margarita. I got some batter on the floor here. Don't want to wipe my mat with the same part I wiped the floor with. Alright, cool. Alright, let me wash my spatula and my cake batter bowl, and then we can get to the macarons. So I think I might want to do the simple syrup first, just so it'll have time to cool. Alright, rubber spatula goes back in. Washing this big old bowl in this tiny sink. Alright, we're using this bowl a second time though, so I gotta make sure it's very, very dry, because egg whites are super finicky. Egg whites are finicky, they don't like being told what to do, they're extremely stubborn. Go Google. I want to play The Sims, but it's getting a bit... Oh, they're starting to all look the same. Yeah, if you play with a single Sim generation long enough, all the Sims they have start to share the same similar characteristics. That's kind of why I had Rhonda have a child by Nervous, because I know that Nervous would look... Because I knew that whatever child she had would look a lot different from her siblings. And I think the only thing that's different about all the boys is that Ken is darker skinned, and Batman and Joker have smaller noses, but I think that's about it. Yeah, making sure this bowl is super dry. Alright. Now I can close the recipe Bible, so say goodbye to the recipe Bible. I need somewhere that's not by the sink to put this. And like our cakes, as you guys can tell, I get a lot of usage out of this pan here. So we're just going to lightly spray this. And I'm going to grab one more piece of paper towel here. Let's say every 6 minutes I'll be saying, what am I bringing next? Yes! Break a leg, Gizmo! Oh wow. Pan is getting old. Hey, T-shirt Rose is here! He slipped in here under my nose! What's up, T-shirt Rose? Alright, come on. Stick. Stick! Okay, it's not sticking. Ah! There we go. I'm gonna spray the other side too. Okay, I thought I would have to spray it lightly, but apparently I was wrong. Still not quite sticking for here, so... There we go. Parchment paper, like this, is also known as grease-proof paper. How are you finding The Sims? It's fun. Well, there is always culinary school. If you want to, culinary school just kind of fell into my lap, to be entirely honest. Alright, moment of truth time. How many egg whites do I need? I need 3. Okay, so I need somewhere to put my yolks, which will be in this mug here. We'll do something with the mug in a minute. I'll do something with the egg yolks in a minute. 1, 2, 3. I know everyone's probably been looking at the bottle trick on YouTube, and that's fine. But if you want to make something like this, don't trust it, because you don't need any yolk in your egg whites. No matter what you do, like, you can always get a little bit of white in your yolk, but never a little bit of yolk in your white. Like, that is the basic rule of thumb there. So I always just use my hands, and I kind of feel when I've got enough white off of the yolk. And I just drop it in the cup right there. That's always how I used to do it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That is a little bit of yolk. Hang on. I screwed up a little bit. I'm just going to throw these away and start again. Because like I said before, it is very important that you don't get any yolk in your white. And I can always buy another carton of eggs. But I can't make more macaroons on stream, you dig? Alright. Oh, I almost did it again. That one just popped on its own. And sometimes that happens. So let's try this again. Alright, this one's a little more manageable. Come on! Come on, you two, it's not a competition. Let's confess to the... Oh, Lava's here. Hello. I'm trying to separate this egg. There we go. Much easier. Alright, and now that is 100% pure egg yolk, and now I gotta go wash my hands. I have a lot of egg on my hands right now. Alright guys, this is the day that Baby Whisk shows us his true strength. Let me wipe off my my hand mixer again. The stand mixer, as I know you guys noticed that sitting off to the side, it's mostly for frosting. I usually like to have a little more control over how I whip pastries and stuff. So I will either do it by hand or I'll do it with a hand mixer, even though I don't like the hand mixer that much. Okay, so we're gonna put these away. These are gonna go away now. Alright. We need 1/4 of a cup of sugar, and then we need 1 cup of almond flour and 1 2 2/3 confectioner's sugar. We don't need this anymore, so we can put it away. Alright, and I'm going to be using this as a template. But in a minute. I owned a sword for reasons. Because I cook a lot, I own a ton of knives. As a matter of fact, once, I was stopped on the street because, a cop was like, "So what is all this in your bag?" And I rolled out the bag and he gave me this look. He was like, "If you weren't in a uniform, I'd be really worried right now." I was like, "Listen, dude, chill. I'm going to work. I have all these knives because I'm a chef. Well, not a chef, but a cook." There we go. I forgot I used the 4th cup for coffee. My bad. Okay. this still has too many clumps and lumps in it. I'm not exactly keen on it. I might throw it away. It depends. So I'm gonna bring out the big bag again. Ow! I just scratched myself real bad. Okay. We're not bleeding, so it's fine. Alright, and this is almond flour. It's incredibly expensive. Don't buy it unless you know what you're using it for. I think I actually saved up for a while to buy that. Okay, we're setting this aside for right now. Oh, now we got to take on the cake. Okay, the cakes are coming along fine. I'm not worried about them, but they're nowhere near done. This is going to keep annoying me. I know it is. It's just going to keep plaguing me. Because the edges are going to curl up and I'm going to be mad. Finally, other shades. New map, here I come. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Jumbatown map! And Chef, you're going to over there saying, no, that would be scary. But also not possible. Well, I'm not sure if it's not possible, but it's not probable, because the only way you can get the knife kit that I had is to be certified by the American Culinary Federation. So when I was, so I didn't get that, yeah, I didn't get that until I was certified by the American Culinary Federation. So, while it is possible, it's not probable. Thankfully. We can all be thankful for that. Ah, there it is. Excuse me. Alright. Then we need almond flour, which is probably just going to need to cut the top cut off. Here's the thing about macarons. Macarons are very finicky. Because almonds are heavy and egg whites are light. So naturally, they're a little difficult to deal with. Alright, so that's our cup. Yeah, I'm just going to use this. It'll be fine. I'll just wash it when I use it for the chocolate. Alright, so bringing the sifter back. Whoops. There we go. Probably needs to be opened a little bit bigger. Get the Genji golden weapon. Yeah, I know. Overwatch is expensive. It's fun though. Like, I still maintain that it's a first-person shooter for people who hate first-person shooters. That's one. Because I've never been big on first-person perspective games. Ever, actually. Unless it was maybe Far Cry or Skyrim. And everybody knows that Skyrim is always, always the exception. And even then, I sometimes play Skyrim in third-person point of view. Alright. That's 2/3. Oh, Lord. Confectioner sugar, like, in my lungs. When I was on, okay, hang on. Having a bit of a time here. There's some of the things in here. There we go. Okay, I broke up some of the bigger chunks of the almond meal, but I'm still gonna give it a little bit of a mix with Baby Whisk here. First person is perfect for horror, but I'm terrible at stuff like that. How's the stream going? When will you hit the 300 subs? Well, I just hit 200. I'm in no rush. We do this for the love of it. Not for the subs. Alright. It's good to see you, Bravely Forward. I'm glad I'm doing a stream that correlates to your time zone, man. Ah. Okay. So. Oh, wait. No, this whisk has to be super clean. I just have almond and flour all over it. That is unacceptable. No, this whisk has to be super clean. It has to be super dry. Like, I'm serious. It has to be, like, spotless to make a meringue. And I'm always like, okay, are you guys ready? This is the true power of Baby Whisk. Now I have to mix these until they're white and foamy. Alright. Aw, thank you, JS. You're so sweet. What you got cooking? Right now, macarons. Okay, and then, now that they're all white and foamy, we add the sugar. Are you guys paying attention? Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Now we have the added sugar. So now we've added the sugar, we're going to wait till these get glossy and form what we call soft peaks. Yeah, this is the power of the Baby Whisk. It's Tuesday, I changed the schedule. I changed the schedule because it's my birthday. I'm making my birthday cake. Alright, so let's see. Soft peaks? Nope, they're still runny. So let's keep going. Still not at peak stage yet. But you guys see that this is what sugar and egg whites make, and it's called meringue, for those of you who did not know. Some of you knew, some of you didn't. I think I have almonds in my throat now. Alright, let's see. Not quite at peak stage yet. Sorta, but not quite. Well, actually, nah, they could go for a little bit longer. Yeah, those are soft peaks. That's good. Alright. So we have a nice glossy meringue here. And what's important is, okay, Baby Whisk. Everyone congratulate Baby Whisk on his hard work. Baby Whisk does a good job. There's one more thing I want to do before we get rid of Baby Whisk, though. Where'd it go? Did I misplace my... No, I didn't. It's just behind me. It's not in the cabinet. I forgot that I had it out for this, exactly. Just a little bit of vanilla, just a little bit of vanilla flavoring. Just a little bit. And we're going to gently put that in there. And the peaks have died a little bit because of that. Okay. Hang on. Baby Whisk needs to go back into action. We still have some peaks. There we go. Okay, we got peaks now. Okay, this is the tough part. Because meringue is so finicky. Where's my rubber spatula? Here it is. Because meringue is so finicky, we have to fold everything in. Yes, it is my birthday. So, you put the heavy mixture in and fold. And you try to be careful. Try not to deflate your egg whites. Just make sure everything is well incorporated with each other. Make sure your almonds and everything are well sifted. It will look a little bit lumpy, but that's fine. That's why you have to be very, very careful. Try not to make sure that any large lumps make it into this mixture. I should be really careful with this. Can you see how it sags? That's kind of what we want. We don't want it to be as stiff as it was before. We want it to become flat because we don't want it to hold a peak when we put it onto the when we finally bake them. We don't want them to hold a peak because that would be too much. Okay, after I mix these in, I'm gonna go check on the cake because it smells like it's done. As a matter of fact, I think I might go and turn off the oven here in a sec. Because I really don't want the cake to overcook. I don't want it to get dry. Thank you, Country Girl, and thank you, Palava. All right. Wow, I've been doing a lot more mixing than I normally do. Y'all should see me do whipped cream. Or better yet, y'all should see me make homemade mayonnaise. And it's fall, it's getting close to that season. Hey, can you check on it for me?
I promise I won't eat it.
Please don't, it's too hot. You burn off your tongue.
It's not pulling away from the sides yet. Do you want me to check it with a
Yes, please.
toothpick? Let me wash my hands thoroughly.
Okay, this is exactly what we want. And we want it to flatten out. It does not need to hold a peak. It definitely smells done. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So the mixture flattens out, which is good for us. Alright. That goes back where it belongs.
What happened to your long frequent stick thing?
I don't know. I think she took them out, actually.
No, I'll wash it. Make sure that it's
One of them was springy, but the other one isn't. So give it a sec. And they are kind of pulling away from the edges. Yeah. I was a little worried there for a second. I was like, what? Okay. And a minute or two. Aw, okay. Well, I hope you guys sort it out soon. Okay, we can put the recipe away now. So we've got our mix here. Now, what color do you guys think these macarons should be? I'm thinking green or pink. What do you guys think? I can't say, but I wanted to say happy birthday. Oh, thank you, Andrew.
What's
Yeah.
the game? What's the game?
This is my birthday.
Oh, just for your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, what's your favorite color?
I mean, green. But...
Green's your favorite color?
Yes. Since blue no longer my favorite color. I mean, one day I just kind of randomly changed my mind. Blue was my favorite color, but I don't know. One day I was like, green is much cooler.
Green and blue.
Green. Yeah, I'm thinking green too. What do you guys think? If I have my green...
What about green with the blue cream in the middle?
I don't have that much frosting. Yep. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have cream. You're gonna have cream in the middle of your macarons. Is it gonna be like the sandwich ones?
Yeah, but it's gonna have chocolate ganache.
Uh,
Can't color dark chocolate.
okay.
Okay. So I'm thinking the bright green. What do you guys think? I have bright green when I saw my It's play Weird Al Yankovic in the street. If I what? Oh no, that was where I put my finger. What? No, probably because it's not cooked yet. It's fine. No, that's because I pressed down a little harder than I intended.
Oh, okay. I understand that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put some green in here. Not too much. I don't want the egg whites to be badly affected. Green is kind of the color of the channel, so we're going to have a nice bright green to stand out against all the chocolate that's about to be on this cake. I have thicker food coloring, but I'm afraid to use it because I don't want the structure to collapse. Thank you, Moon. So we're about to have bright neon green macarons. I actually kind of dig that. Okay, the egg whites are starting to get a little flat now, so I'm gonna stop. I say as I keep going. Okay. And we want them to flatten out, so that's good. Alright, we want all of our macarons to be the same size. And I would use a quarter to measure out the same sizes, but here's the thing. Quarters are filthy. Money is dirty, okay? Money is dirty. I don't want it on my baking sheet. Of the channel that has no green on anything. Yeah, my skull on almost every other platform but YouTube has green on it. And I used a green picture when I was doing my my Persona 5 streams. So there's a lot of green going on, actually. Alright, I gotta find something else to do with this almond flour. I don't know what else it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something. Maybe I'll make green tea macarons sometime. I heard that those are pretty popular. Alright, this goes back here. These eggs go back in the fridge, up on the top shelf, because that's where the eggs should be, not on the bottom shelf, like I put them. Alright, everybody congratulate Baby Whisk. Baby Whisk worked very hard today. And the hand mixer too. Alright, I'm gonna check on the cakes one last time. Well, usually I can smell when the cake is close to being done. Because it's like, especially when it's a chocolate cake, it gives off a very distinct smell. At least it's distinct to me. Some people might be like, what? What? Oh, that is a lot of almond flour on that floor. Alright. I really wanted these edges to stay down. They're not staying down, and it's annoying me. Hey, Nitsua, what's up? Green is the color of the channel. That's no green or anything. I already read that. No, she still says it. She just says heroes don't die in English now. When I once saw someone do this, oh, this is actually perfect. Okay. I found a good template. Oh, actually, these might be too small. Hang on. Macarons aren't supposed to be that small. There's gotta be another top in here that's... I couldn't tell you, though. Dang it. Actually, I think this is gonna be the size we need. For those of you who don't know, this is the top to Panda Express Sweet and Sour Sauce. I'm gonna go wipe it off. Yeah, this is about the size macarons should be. Right here. You seem like you have something important to tell me, Nitsua. Or are you just yelling my name? This is annoying. It's already annoying me. Oh my god, am I about to be like the bad baker here? I think I might be. I'm playing Team Deathmatch, because I don't care. Monetization from others, much later in my stream. Well, it's not just monetization. No, even if you're monetized, regardless of whether you're monetized or not, they will copyright strike you. And that makes it impossible to stream. So, monetization doesn't really matter whether or not you're monetized. Thanks again, DJ. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether or not you're monetized. They'll copyright strike you no matter what happens. Sorry, you guys can't see this very well, can you? I'm just spooning my macaron mixture into my piping bag here. And these basically cook like the pat a choux that we made. I'm gonna check on the cakes one more time. Yeah, they're more doing what I needed to do now. I was a little worried there for a sec. Yeah, they're pretty much done. So I'm going to take them out. These are our cakes. That's one. And two. Okay, now I have to do something very special with my oven, which is I've got to turn it off. And I've got to take it down to 285. I'm gonna leave it open for a second while I do this, so it'll cool down. The internet went out for some reason. Oh, no worries. Alright. Now I'm a little nervous about this because I don't have a template, because I got bored really quick. Because that doesn't make for interesting streams. So, let's see how this turns out. Yep, that's exactly what we need. And I don't want to crowd these guys. This is perfect. No chunks, no streaks of egg white. I think when you can make 6 per baking sheet, that'd be, oh, crap. Alright, so that means this is the smallest one. Whoops. Okay. They're a little unevenly spaced. Just a little bit. Maybe I should... There we go. But I have to wait for them to form a skin. So I'm going to put these off to the side. That takes about, for them to form a skin, takes about an hour. So that means, wait, actually, that means I can turn off my oven and let it cool down. I'm going to use a second cookie sheet. Stream time was great for me, by the way. Oh, cool. Good to know. Let's... Hang on. I got my second cookie sheet out, but I think I need to get scrub down. These macarons are going to be pretty large. But you know what? That's fine. I just have to wait for them to form a skin. They're supposed to be very, very flat. Then they form a skin, and then they puff up. So these are going to be pretty big. Yeah, I decided to start a little bit early today. I'm going to treat myself to a little bit of a martial arts movie marathon once this stream is over. Like I said, if you guys have watched this stream before, you know I love martial arts movies. And really not just martial arts movies, but Chinese movies. Though I have to admit, I'm not really that excited for that new Bruce Lee biopic. I'm not exactly thrilled about that one because I don't think it's an accurate representation of the dude. I mean, he was kind of mouthy, you know, kind of rude sometimes. But I don't ever recall him being listed as, like, downright disrespectful or mean towards other people's, like, interpretations of Kung Fu and such. And also, I don't think he engaged in random street brawls. Like, I don't remember anybody ever talking about that. But I still have maintained that one of my favorite martial arts movies, can I join? Oh my god. I would love that, Blitz. I love martial arts movies. And this might sound stereotypical, but I really, really enjoy, I really, really believe... Okay, we're only gonna make that big. How about that? Like, one of my favorite movies is Enter the Dragon, but I will say, like I said, this might sound a little stereotypical, but I do believe that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is one of the best movies ever. That got a little messy. My bad. Yeah, these are definitely going to be a bit smaller. We'll put some on the outside and some on the inside. How about that? How about it? I need to stop saying that. I need to stop saying that. She should not be famous for that. But it is always funny. It is always funny. For some reason. Just to say it. How about it? Oh, that is way too big. Oh well. Nope, they're not even posing for me to skin yet. Alright. Cake pans are still hot, but... Oh, that's too hot. I'm gonna put these over on the other side of the kitchen. Okay. Enter the Dragon. Thank you. I backed out of Hellboy because of... No, I got backed out of Hellboy because of controversy. Well, here's the thing. When you take a character who's supposed to be... who's like an icon in certain cultures, you can't just change their ethnicity. Like, that's why people had such a problem with Death Note. Because in Japan, Light was like... he was like anime Macbeth, you know? He was like anime Macbeth, and people actually, like, placed a lot of value in his and Elle's portrayal. And so when they changed their ethnicities, and yes, people were mad also about Elle being black. So, and I actually don't blame them for that. So, like, I get it. I get why he left, especially when, like I said, especially when a certain character has become an icon in a certain country, and then you just up and change their entire ethnicity, you know? Kind of like when, even though they said Katniss Everdeen had tan skin, she has tan, dark, olive skin, tan, dark, olive skin, tan, dark, olive skin, all the time in the books, but then they cast Jennifer Lawrence. That made people upset, and I can understand that. Wait, Elle was black. Yeah, Elle was black, I believe. Right? Right, Blitz? So like I said, I don't blame people for being upset about stuff like that. I mean, like if someone had randomly decided to go out and make, we do not speak of anime live action movies. But, like, the whole thing with Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell was a bad movie, but the thing that ruined it for me was when you take a cyborg based off of a Japanese woman. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, when you saw what I was just doing there, that is to make the edges of the cake pull away from the sides of the pan, so it doesn't stick once I put it in the freezer. And yes, I am actually putting these guys in the freezer this time. Ah! Okay, something almost fell on my face. You put something on top of the fridge while I wasn't looking. Where you going?
No, ask you grown up question. Let me go get some dinner. Probably something chicken.
Really?
They want me fried though, because I know they can't eat fried.
Yeah, I forgot.
So when they cook, they're gonna rise.
Yep. They're gonna rise to the, they're gonna rise so high that they're gonna leave a little foot. So when they leave a little, that's what makes the macarons, because they leave a little foot on the bottom, and then they rise up like that. I haven't made macarons in a very, very, very long time, and I made it with a lot of help from Chef John. So this is my first time doing that. But so far they look 100% correct, so I'm not mad.
Alright.
Alright, there we go. Now, the cakes are on cooldown duty. I don't hate the transformer. Are you okay? Something hit me in my face when I opened something hit me in my face when I opened the freezer. It was like a thing of Clorox wipes. They just came shooting at my face. You have to admit, the CGI is amazing. I will say, it's good CGI, I just hate Michael Bay. Like, I just genuinely have something against Michael Bay. I don't know if that helps, I just genuinely have something against Michael Bay. Don't take a picture of those unless they don't turn out right. I think they will, though. Like I said, they look right, I just have to wait an hour for them to form a skin. That's the important part that makes macarons macarons, is they have to have a skin on them. What else? Hate them all you want, but you, okay. He's retiring from Transformers soon. Can he retire in general? I'm being mean. Michael Bay makes so much more money than me. Like, the man makes so much more money than me. I guess I really can't be mad at someone who's... I really can't be mad at somebody who, I guess, does their hustle the way they do their hustle. Like, I don't like Iggy Azalea, but I guess I can't be mad at her, you know? But, yep. Alright, so I've already cleaned this, so this can go back in the drawer. This can also go back, because I need it. This is going to the dishwashing chamber. 10 plus movies! Now you cannot tell me that there's going to be some 10 plus movies of Transformers. Like, I don't think I can take that no matter who the director is. But you know what I'm actually really tired of? As much as I love... Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I I do love comic books. I love superheroes and all that kind of stuff. But am I the only person who's just sick of seeing it? Like, there's so much of Marvel superheroes everywhere. Like, I'm so sick. I'm so sick of seeing Robert Downey Jr.'s face everywhere. It's like, yes, there's Iron Man. We know. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm just getting a little fatigued. And, like, I'm getting like that about Star Wars, too. Mostly because, there was some of Star Wars that was filmed in Georgia. So, there's some of stuff that was filmed in Georgia. And Last of Us, the video game Last of Us, some of that is also being developed in Georgia. And Hitman, the second season of Hitman is being developed in Georgia, too. So, those are things that I see all the time, everywhere. Every single day, and it's like, can I not experience this for just 1 second? It's the same thing with Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is everywhere. Tyler Perry films everywhere in Georgia, and I see and hear Tyler Perry everything, and it's like, please, leave me alone. But, yeah, sorry about my Tyler Perry rant. I'm gonna go wash these. Oh, it looks cool.
No, before with that other thing she was working on.
The bun? It's
I know. It's just that particular angle they were shooting it at. What the best angle?
No, it all turns out.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah, she's even doing the grill marks.
Yeah.
You guys are wondering why I'm watching. What I'm watching. I'm watching How to Cake It. How to Cake It inspires me to do cake stuff. I love Yolanda Gam. You guys can make... That's like one of my dreams is to be on a video with her. She's like one of the coolest people in the world. Alright, I think that's it for our dear friend Clear Bowl. Clear Bowl is one of our biggest allies, and we all love him, but he's gotta go.
That's supposed to be sauerkraut?
Yes. Alright. The only celebrity I want to meet in person is Stan Lee. You're gonna get something to eat. Alright, country girl. Can't add leaks. No, you can't, unfortunately. What were you looking for? Oh, post the link to Kate then. Oh, okay. Just put it up in the Discord. I don't mind. I give you permission. Put it in the Discord. So I can look at it later. Oh, right. Oh, no. This is down, actually. Down all the way to 285.
Do you need this anymore?
No.
It's going. Oh!
What? What did you say?
Said it's going. Oh!
Oh. Okay, the skin's not formed quite yet. We're close. This one's formed a skin, that's why it needs to come off. I've met Stephen Emile from Arrow. Oh, cool. Oh, let me tell you guys a story. Okay, so... Let me tell you guys a little story. Okay, so this is the story of how I ran into Antonio Banderas. Dad, I told you this story before.
Yes.
So if any of you guys know, the old SpongeBob movie was filming in my town, and I worked downtown at the time, and I don't know why Antonio Banderas was there, because he plays someone through voices, he's a voiceover, apparently, so I don't know why he was there, but, I'm waiting with a good friend of mine from work, and she looks over at some guy and asks if he needs a cigarette, and, he turns around and he basically says, no, I don't smoke, thank you. And the whole time I'm sitting there like, and I'm like hitting her, like, this is, oh, okay, well, do you have a lighter then? And he goes, oh, well, I do have one of those. And he gives her a lighter, and I'm like, and I'm hitting her like, do you know what that is? And like, I freaked out, and like, I was like, okay, we need to go. I need to go. But, yeah, that's how I ran into Antonio Banderas. My friend asked me for a cigarette. And to be fair, he is just as good looking in person. Wait, this is one stick. So we're going to make 2 servings of buttercream for this cake. This one. Let's go. It's solid. One. I feel like this song has been playing forever. Alright, they're not tacky enough yet, which is sad. I want to see, I'm like really eager to see how these macarons turn out. Okay. The surface of the cakes are clean, are cool, but I'm not exactly sure about the inside, so I'm going to give it a bit longer. And since it's in the freezer, I know if I open it up and it's warm on the inside, I'm going to be mad.
Is she trying to do a German thing?
Yes.
Well, I think her is the wrong color.
It is. She even says it in the beginning of the beginning of the video. She says it's the wrong color. And like, she's glaring at her producer like, this is the wrong color. What was I looking for here? Nothing, because I put the nothing, because I took the half and half out already. He was streaming a protest against communism. I met Shia LaBeouf. Oh, cool.
She met Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, I think so. Another guy comes in. Wow. You see, one of the things I liked about working downtown was you could run into really popular people. Like, my brother met Femke Jensen. I ran into Antonio Banderas. Someone says that I met Adam Sandler. I don't really believe them. Because it's the same thing that happened kind of with the Antonio Banderas thing, where someone ran into me and then the person next to me started hitting me. Like, you know who that is? Do you know who that is? And, yeah, it kind of just missed me. I still am not sure that that was Adam Sandler, because I swear he didn't sound like it. Because when he ran into me, he said, "Oh, honey, I'm sorry," and then ran off. And so I never saw the guy's face.
Yeah, I've never run really, the only celebrity I've run into here locally is Herschel Walker. And I didn't really run into him. He was kind of sitting near me in Starbucks. Looks like he was chewing out somebody that I knew. So it was not one of those moments, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, he kind of smiled, did the headshake thing. I've always run into people though outside of this area. Like the time I was in going through Hartsfield Jackson, and I'm standing there. I think it was by Quiznos, or I just come back from Quiznos, and I'm coming back to my sandwich. And then I'm standing there, and this guy comes out, and he looks at me, he looks around, and it's, oh gosh, what's the rapper's name? Long dreadlock, Lil Jon.
Oh, Lil Jon or Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne, yeah,
okay.
Lil Wayne, sorry. Lil Wayne, I'm like, and
say
he,
because Lil Jon cut his hair.
He looked at me, he looked around, and he was like, I really shouldn't be here, and then he disappeared. It was like magic, man.
Like,
I turned around, and he was like a ninja. It was like, So I guess he went back into the lounge area for celebrity stars or whatever.
Oh, the Admiral's Lounge, which you can go into if you pay $100. I mean, your flight has to be delayed a really long time to be able to go to there, though. To be able to be convinced to go to one of the Admiral's Lounge. Thank you for washing the dishes, guys.
You're welcome.
Everybody say thank you, Cake Dad.
The other time we were in Fort Lauderdale. No, we were in Miami. Saw Harvey Keitel.
I don't remember that. Was I not with you?
I thought you were with us.
I don't know. You guys went to Miami twice. One with me and one without me.
No, Harvey Keitel. And then the other one was recently was Nia Long. We were coming out of this restaurant, and
You run into Nia Long.
well, and her husband,
Mhm.
the basketball player.
Oh.
But anyway, your mother and I were coming out of the restaurant, and they were kind of sitting near the Empress, which I found a little bit strange.
Oh.
You know how they're supposed to be, they got shades because they want to be inconspicuous, but the shades make them actually more conspicuous.
Yes.
So I'm like, we were walking, I'm looking over my shoulder, I'm like, oh my goodness. And then when I stepped out there, I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I really want to go back in and get a picture of it.
No.
Chill. So yeah.
That's cool. I never knew that. Oh wait, that was you when you and Mom went for your anniversary, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't the worst.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. See ya. Dad's gonna go pick up dinner for us. Yeah, by the way, I'm making buttercream. Right now it's just normal buttercream. I'll be adding the chocolate later. What's for dinner? Fried chicken, probably. Probably fried chicken and macaroni salad. I mean, I had sushi earlier today. So I'm sorted as far as I'm concerned. Alright, a little bit more half and half. While I'm doing that, I'm going to check on the macarons again. Okay, they seem to have formed a skin finally. But I'm going to wait a little bit longer. Cake, did I miss a story? Yes, you missed the story of when my mom and dad ran into Nia Long. Take it easy, Bombastic.
Circular drive at the convention center while Lou Dawson was waiting on his ride. He was smoking my face.
Oh, cool. That sounds like him.
It's okay. Well, I can't talk to him personally, but
I'm not sure many people can. I'm going to have my brother over at the house for dinner tonight. Oh, that sounds very pleasant, DJ. I wish my brother could come over. Unfortunately, he lives like 5-6 hours away now. I do plan on visiting him soon. I was supposed to visit him this weekend, but I couldn't go to Dragon Con, so boo. Okay, once I finish this, you should really own your own cake shop. You think so? I would love... I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I think I really want to open a candy store. And let me tell you the plans I have for this candy store, okay? Like, okay, I want one section that's like all cupcakes, and like it's a rotating menu through the seasons, kind of like Gigi's Cupcakes. So I'd like one section to have cupcakes. Then I'd like one section to be like mostly chocolate. I'd like one section to be like mostly chocolate. Like you got bear claws and pralines and fudge and chocolate covered Oreos and chocolate covered s'mores and cookie dough balls. And then I would like to have a cookie dough slash customizable cookie dough slash ice cream station where you can get raw cookie dough and ice cream. And then the biggest thing that I would want in my the biggest thing that I would want in my candy store is something called the wall. It would just be a wall of like licensed candy. You have like, and all of them being sorted by color. You have M&M's, Sweet Tarts, Sprees, Nerds, all of that stuff. And it would just be like this big, like, and all these tubes across a big long wall. And then in the middle of the wall, there would be this dispenser that's about like a semicircle attached to the wall. And that would have like 6 or 7 different flavors of Pixie Stick, and then you can pick how big your Pixie Stick is or how small, and then you can fill it up with whatever flavor you want. Oh my god, that'd be so cool! My brother lives in Atlanta, and I can't make the drive up 75 as often as I want to. And mostly because it takes about an entire tank of gas, which is difficult to afford sometimes. That doesn't mean he can't visit more, but whatever. I know he's watching this stream. He's lurking probably, but I know he's watching. But yeah, that's what I would want to do with a candy store. And I was just thinking of how cool that would be, you know? I remember when I was a kid, I would walk into a candy store and I'd be like, wow. And like, oh, that'd be so cool if I could do that for a little, like, if I could hear a little kid, like, in my candy store go, oh man, I had the best day ever, I would cry. Like, I would just cry. Okay, yeah, oh god. I broke the skin on that one. My bad. Alright, a little bit more half and half. Not a lot, just a little bit. I don't want this to be too... so I can work that. I mean, the best case scenario would be a chain, you know? That'd be the best case scenario. But like, yeah, if like a little kid would say to me, like, I had the best day ever here, I'd be like, life complete, I'm done, I can die happy now. Especially like a little kid that's going through some shit, you know? Alright, okay. Like getting bullied at school or something. I'd want to help that kid out. Make sure he had a good day. Away from school. Away from the assholes. I was watching Game Grumps one day. And Danny was like, you know, I remember he was saying that he used to be bullied a lot by kids who, kids would make fun of him for being Jewish at school, and it was usually all the older kids, and he was like, you know, one of these days I feel like going to like my nephew's school or someone's school and being like, here, I know you're being bullied, but it's gonna be alright, and I show you why it's gonna be alright. Ah. And then he just like punched the bully in the face. Bullies. I saw this this video on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook. Okay, so there's a woman in blue and a woman in gray. The woman in blue is saying like some real gross racist stuff to this woman in gray, right? And the woman in gray starts slowly taking off her shoes. Like she starts slowly taking off her shoes, and like there's an old woman who's next to the person that's filming, and the old woman goes, "Oh, she done picked the wrong one today," because this is why you don't piss off the wrong people. This is why you should try to be kind to everyone, because this woman took off her shoes and then proceeded to kick the hell out of this racist woman. Like, it wasn't even like she was, like, she didn't even square up. Like, she wasn't even like, I'm ready and I'm gonna punch this woman in the face. No, she just took off her shoes and all of a sudden she was on that woman's face. Like, and I was like, oh, see, no, this is why you are respectable and kind to everyone. Because you never know when someone can kick your ass. Of course, unless they cross you first, which, you know. It's 107 here. Oh, good lord. Are you staying hydrated? As long as you're staying hydrated. Alright, let's taste some of this. Yep, this is exactly the texture we want. Remember, we don't want it to be too sticky. We don't want to have it ball up. We just want, this is what we want. So I'm gonna, there we go. Oh man. This is gonna sound so bougie, but I love the taste of my frosting. Really, I do. It's nice and fluffy. Now, see, that's the thing. But see, the thing is, you should never put yourself in those situations. Like, here's the thing. It's like, especially when the old lady, who was there while the video was being filmed. She said, "Ooh, she done picked the wrong one today." Like, the old lady knew, okay? The old lady knew that this girl was gonna beat the hell out of her. She kept calling her racist names. Like, they all knew. And yet she just kept going. Like, the doorman was like, listen, listen, you're provoking the wrong person. And she just wouldn't stop. So she didn't take any warning. So because she didn't take any warning, she got a butt kick. She didn't just get her butt kicked. Like, that girl went fist on face. Oh, I forgot to mention that the racist lady also reached out and grabbed her hair as if to try and pull her wig off. So yeah, the woman also put her hands on her. What's the video called? I don't know. I just saw it on Facebook one day. It was really funny. Okay, that's all cool. I was just hoping the butter and the frosting wouldn't melt. Alright. Oh, hang on. I accidentally unplugged the computer. My bad. There we go. No, please. If I let this computer unplugged, it would literally, like, just drain of all battery. I wish I knew what the video was called, but I really don't. I honestly just think it was a video that was on, I honestly just think it was a video that's just on Facebook. Yeah, she's calling the girl all sorts of names. And then the girl slowly takes off her shoes, and then the woman Alright, sorry about that. I unplugged my computer by accident, and then the battery life got all weird. Man, alright. Okay, I think we're good now. Or is the... What is going on? Hopefully I can still... Okay, sorry, I have to go. Okay, see you later, Kulava. Getting rid of the music help? I don't know what's causing this problem. It says encoding overloaded. Can you guys hear me? Please tell me you guys can hear me.